What is going on, everybody? We are back Monday, August 13th. After a nice, refreshing, and relaxing weekend, it's time to do the exact same thing we do every single day. Break down whatever's going on in the world of baseball. 10-game slate tonight. A lot of high-end pitching, which, oh man, it's going to be a really interesting thing to talk about now that ownership is out. Got back to my winning ways as of yesterday, so I'm hoping to carry that over. It was a great morning. Liverpool, huge victory to start. Transition into a huge victory in DFS. So, Jake, how was your weekend?
Good. I had a pretty big Friday, so that was nice to start off the weekend. The other 2 days didn't go as well, but we got a good slate here. Like you said, ownership makes it more fun to talk about. So I'm excited we got it, and just excited to talk some baseball with the chat. We already got some regulars in here.
People are just yearning for it.
I guess.
I don't blame them. It's great content.
We're pretty biased, though.
10 games. Nothing crazy from an offense perspective. I think the day is ruled by pitching, which means I hope you find that stack that breaks free, because that, I think, is going to be the key today.
Yep.
Wanted to thank you, Josh. Placed first on a single entry Friday with that Anthony DeSclafani pick. You know, Anthony DeSclafani is just always good. Always good.
You recommended DeSclafani on the live stream?
I had a ton of DeSclafani on Friday.
Oh, man. And he balled out, too?
Yeah, he had 30-something.
Well, you should just never play him again and go out on top. That guy's garbage. That's what I try to do.
He's just, it's that price point, man.
I know. How about my Polka homer?
I don't want to talk about that one.
I'm coming for you guys.
Oh, God. I haven't had one.
It was a walk-off, too. Walk-off. What, did I get, like five homers for that?
You should. Did he really?
Yeah.
What, it really was a walk-off?
Yeah, it was a walk-off.
That's why when I saw it, no, that's why, like, I didn't have the energy to go back to figure it out. I was like, did you have Polka? And you're like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, Marino Life. Hey, Josh, do you have to be a premium member to an optimizer site to be able to paste them on DK? Hand building lineups. Hand building these sucks. You want to answer that?
I mean, you don't have to be a premium member to an optimizer. Like, you could use a free optimizer for sure, but there's nothing available. Like, because we are posting rankings, it's not as if you can copy and paste rankings. But if you have your own projections, you can copy and paste those into any optimizer. You don't have to pay for an optimizer. Or you could pay for Awesemo and Fantasy Cruncher. I understand that that's a bit of a financial outlay.
Yeah, it just depends what you're willing to pay and what you're looking for. There's free optimizers. You can just Google it. We both use Fantasy Cruncher, so yeah, just a matter of preference.
Ready to dive in?
Yeah, I'm ready to dive in.
Let's do it. First game up, Subway Series, Mets and Yankees. Mets, 3.1 run implied total. Yankees, 3.9. It's a 60% chance to win for the Yankees. Jake DeGrom going for New York. Luis Severino going for the Yankees. If you listen to the night shift with yours truly yesterday, you would know that I preferred Severino. Nothing has changed. I have 25% Severino on DK. Quite a bit above the field. Field is projected at 16. I'm right with the field at 21% on FanDuel. And on the DeGrom side, very minimal ownership. We're only expecting 6%. That's exactly what I have. And I am very underweight on him on FanDuel. I just prefer Severino across the board. And it's mostly because DeGrom has to face the Yankees while Severino gets to face the Mets. Very different teams. I like Severino. I'm going to be over the field. I don't want any bats. And for the first time in I don't know how long, I don't have any Stanton. And now he's still 18% owned.
Whoa.
Yeah.
No Stanton? Something you might have to tweak your model.
Yeah. Normally I would have had 36, but he's been donging a lot lately.
Yeah, even better. What's wrong with that? He's hot, as they say. No, but you said it. I mean, I'm kind of with you. I like Severino. He's cheaper. He's a favorite. He gets the softer matchup. Similar strikeout upside for both of these guys. I think DeGrom. I wouldn't be shocked if either of these guys had 10 plus strikeouts in this match in their respective matchups. Um, obviously DeGrom's has a lot more power, so much scarier matchup for him. But either of these guys are fine for me. It's not really going to be tough to pay up for pitcher today, at least for your top pitcher, because of the couple guys in like the 4K range. DK does this soft pricing on Mondays for some reason. So I like both of these guys. But I wrote up Severino. I liked what I saw against the White Sox. He's still allowing runs, which is fine if you're going to get 8 strikeouts and go 7 innings, but he doesn't need to be perfect at this price for 11.8. I think these guys are probably both underpriced, in my opinion.
Wow, okay. Severino, maybe. I think DeGrom at 12.3 is a pretty healthy price.
I get DeGrom's closer, but these guys are both studs, and if they're going to price everyone else down, like their relative prices, it's just super easy to afford them, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, I hear you there. Do you like any bats here? I can't imagine wanting to go this direction.
If I was, it would probably be like some Yankees bats, like these underpriced guys like Hicks, maybe Gleyber Torres. So you can make a case for like a Yankee stack. If you think they can get to DeGrom, I'm not going with Mets bats. They're not even good in the first place, besides maybe Conforto. But I still don't even want to play him against Severino in that Yankees pen. So I'm steering clear of Mets bats. I may have some Yankees mini stacks. That's about it.
Okay. Yeah, I literally didn't get a single bat. I didn't even get Stanton as a one-off.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to avoid this game and go with the pitching, I think that's fine.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'll end up being. There is some rain tonight in New York. Just based on where it is now, I could see a late start. Maybe instead of going off at 7:05, they go off at 8. But it doesn't appear like there's going to be any problems deep into the night, so they'll get there. Yeah, I think that's probably it. I say smash Severino.
Yeah, I agree.
Indians and Reds. Indians 5-run implied total. Reds 3.9. It's a 61% chance to win for the Indians. Mike Clevenger going for Cleveland. Homer Bailey going for Cincinnati. I don't have a lot of Clevenger, although he is getting some love. 16% ownership on DK. I only have 5. Just not really a spot that I'm going to end up on. Kind of in like salary no man's land for me. And then Homer Bailey, not my guy. I assume you're not going to Homer Bailey here against Cleveland, but with you and Chris, I never know.
No Homer Bailey. We had our run, and that was enough for me. So I shouldn't say that was enough for me, because I might play Bailey in the upcoming matchups, but not this one. Like, there's just not enough strikeouts. It's a bad park. He's going to give up some fly balls and hard contact, and that's going to be trouble. I like that they put Yonder in the 4 spot with no Edwin Encarnacion. So the first 4 make it super easy for me to just stack up. And then I like Yan Gomes at catcher for 3,600. So I'm looking at a Cleveland stack more than Bailey here. I don't think I'll have Bailey at all.
Cleveland, number 1 on FanDuel, number 1 on DraftKings. They are my highest priority stack. I am miles above the field on both sites. Lindor, Brantley, Ramirez, Alonso, Melky Cabrera, if you want to keep it cheap, only 2,200 on FanDuel, hitting 5th. If you want to use Kipnis to get a cheap second baseman, have at it. Yan Gomes as a catcher, all good. Only guy you don't really need here is Greg Allen, but everything else on the Indians, I think, comes up aces today.
Sure. Yeah, they're an awesome stack, I think. And the small park will help, of course, and Homer Bailey may help, too.
Oh, he'll definitely help. Yeah, I'm going to be loading up here. This is a big spot for the Indians. Do you like any bats on the Cincinnati side? Or do you have any interest in Clevenger, I guess? 16% ownership is...
Yeah, I was a little bit confused just looking at that now. 16%. It's not like the Reds are a great like swing and miss matchup, but over the last month, 78 WRC plus against righties, a 107 ISO. Their on-base percentage is fine. They're striking out a little bit more than their season average. But like the 107 ISO is pretty awful. It's 78 WRC plus. So they're just not hitting well. I like Clevenger when he's going up against a lot of righties. And I just see Peraza, Suarez, and the pitcher spot. So it's not like a perfect matchup for Clevenger at all. And I like a guy that's actually higher priced than Kershaw in this range. So I don't know. I'm probably not going to much Clevenger, especially at that ownership.
Yeah, I just don't see the need. 9,200 is like a weird spot to be tonight.
Yeah.
There are a couple guys above him pretty easily, and I don't necessarily think that his price is like a great value for him either. So I just want to focus on the Indians' bats, and I want to have lots and lots and lots of them.
Yeah, I like it.
Where do they rank, actually? So they are tied for third on FanDuel and fifth on DK. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to like them against good old Homer.
Oh, yeah.
He might just get singled to death again, though, so you got to watch out for that.
Well, I'll take singles, too. White Sox and Tigers. This one, oh, God, this is a weird-ass game. 4.4 run implied total for the White Sox, 4.5 for the Tigers. The 50-50 game. Ronaldo Lopez going for Chicago. Blech. Artie Lewicki going for Detroit. So I have like an unhealthy amount of Artie Lewicki right now. I have no idea why. He came up 30% on my first crunch on DraftKings. I will mute that for sure. As of right now, we're not projecting any ownership, but that seems weird to me. I need to double check how many innings he's potentially going.
That's what I was just going to say. That's the problem. So he threw 46 pitches in his last appearance. I don't know if it was a start or not. 3 innings.
I didn't think I was going to be too aggressive saying 5 innings here against the White Sox, but apparently I am.
That's a little aggressive, I think. You'd have to be very, very efficient to get to 5. I mean, he could do it. The White Sox are garbage, but especially the bottom of that lineup. Is Moncada seriously supposed to bat 8th?
Apparently.
I don't understand that, but I like White Sox.
He faced 24 batters on August 3rd.
August 3rd?
Yeah, in AAA.
Oh, okay.
And then on the 29th, he faced 22 over 7 innings. So, like, he can go that long,
maybe.
But it doesn't appear that, like, he's set to do that. So
yeah.
I'm going to nerf him a bit, but I'm definitely going to have some of him just because
Interesting.
The White Sox can strike out in abundance.
Well, yeah, you could certainly see him getting, 6 Ks in 5 innings or something. If he could go that deep, like, that's not out of the realm of possibility. I don't think Lewicki's a big strikeout arm.
No.
So that's my hold up with him. And then I like some of these White Sox bats against the Tigers bullpen, including Lewicki. My boy Polka, once again. Delmonico leading off for only 3,400. I like Avisel Garcia, righty. He's only 3,900. And Moncada, but he's batting 8th, apparently. And then I don't even mind Narvaez for 3,300. I've got him being a pretty decent hitter against righties this year. So I like the White Sox stack against Lewicki.
Okay, so White Sox are my number 4 stack on FanDuel. I'm above the field. They are number 8 on DraftKings. I am below the field. But they're chalky as hell. They're tied with the Indians on FanDuel, and they are the 3rd chalkiest stack on DraftKings.
Wow.
Right? That's crazy.
Let's see.
So I'm going to be all over this game. I also love the Tigers. They are 3rd on FanDuel, 5th on DK. I'm above the field on both. I'm going to have a lot of this, whether it's White Sox bats, Tigers bats, a game stack. Artie Lewicki will have some ownership. I'm picking off all sorts of bits of this game. I hope it goes crazy.
So the best parts, in my opinion, the best parts of the White Sox stack aren't even that chalky. Abreu, Polka, Garcia is 14%, but those are like my 3 favorites. And Moncada, if he's batting 8th, I doubt Moncada's 11%.
Agreed.
But I still like him even if he is batting 8th because it'll get people off of him. You said you like Tigers bats, or did you talk about Tigers bats?
I do. They were in spotlight hitters and stacks today.
Okay.
Gerber, Iglesias, Castellanos, Candelario, all look really, really good on both sites. I'm fine with Vmart or Nico Goodrum. I don't need really any like Victor Reyes or anything like that, but just a lot to like at the top. They don't have anybody on FanDuel above 3K, and only Castellanos and Candelario are above 2,200. It's just like the Twins from Friday. Like, you can have any combination of Tigers bats on FanDuel, whatever expensive pitcher you want, and then whatever expensive stack you want, whether that's the Indians or, I don't know, who else, the Nats. Teams that have expensive bats, the Dodgers. I'm just naming like other teams that would. You can put anybody you want with the Tigers today, and that's why they're as popular as they are. And they get Ronaldo Lopez.
So, Ronaldo Lopez, I do have some interest.
Jake.
Yeah. So, last month, so 30 days, the Tigers 51 WRC plus against righties. That is, I believe, the worst. It's the worst by a long shot.
As it should be.
117 ISO, 252 on base percentage, 24.3% K rate. So I looked at that and I was like, okay, well, let's see, like Reynaldo, let's see what he's been doing lately. And his last start is super, super impressive. He had a near 47% chase rate against the Yankees. 7 innings, 6 strikeouts. The results were good. The swinging strike rate was over 14%, his highest of the season. And then he was getting ahead with first pitch strikes, like low Z swing percentage. And he does this every once in a while. It looks like every like fourth or fifth start. He did it against Kansas City and actually Detroit in June. So like once a month, he's good for one of these starts. I don't know if he's going to do it again, but I haven't looked into what he was throwing in that last start to see why he was getting so many swings and misses. I don't know.
He's throwing garbage.
I don't know that he's any good at all, but I'm willing to find out at least against the Tigers. So if no one's going to play him and people are going to play the Tigers, I'll be over the field on Lopez pretty easily. And I'll just go against these bad Tigers hitters.
Yeah, I hate Lopez so bad. White Sox now have the number 1, 2, and 3 guys in xFIP. Worst xFIP of the league.
I know. They're so bad.
All 3. Shields, Giolito, Lopez. All 3 guys.
Yeah.
Craziest part of it all? Lopez has a 259 BABIP. He's even been, like, lucky and bad.
Lopez has 3 games against Detroit this year of 6, 7, and 7 innings. So maybe he just owns Detroit. Maybe that's what's making him not the worst pitcher.
Yeah.
I mean, he's just confusing. He's in the confusing territory for me. So at 4%, I'm willing to take that shot. If he was going to be chalk, I wouldn't even take a second look. But
11,
no one's going to be
11 strikeouts, 8 walks in those 3 starts against Detroit.
Yeah, that's who he is, though. I mean, from time to time, he can miss bats. He's usually going to be walking 2 to 4 guys. Like, just gotta hope he doesn't give up that 3-run homer.
Yeah, and he's probably going to give up that 3-run homer.
So, yeah, probably. But
yeah, give me all of the Tigers bats. I'll take the trash bats over the trash pitcher. I'm happy to be wrong, though. Like, look, he obviously has stuff. He's got a big-time fastball. I have no problem saying that. He's just not the best at locating it.
No, he's not. Yeah, so we're kind of on different sides. I kind of like it. We're on different sides. Hopefully this game goes off one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I'll have a piece of it somehow. As long as it's not Lopez. That's the only piece I don't have.
Come on. Come to the dark side.
I can't do it. I'll have all White Sox or all Detroit hitters over the next 3 days when Giolito and Shields get out there. Speaking of chalky bats, Diamondbacks and Rangers. Diamondbacks 5.5 run implied total. Rangers 4.4. 60% chance to win for the D-backs. Zach Greinke going for Arizona. Bartolo Colon going for Texas. You're not rostering Colon. I'm not rostering Greinke. Projected at 12% ownership. I've got only 3. I don't really see much need to pay $9,700 to go into that Texas ballpark. It's a really tough place to pitch. Weather at game... Oh, weather's not bad. Only 82 degrees, but still. I don't want to be there. What I want are Diamondbacks bats. Number 2 stack on both sites. They are the overwhelming chalk on FanDuel and DK, so I'm actually under the field on these guys, but they're super, super popular. That's what happens when you face Bartolo Colon. Talk to me about Greinke, I guess, if you're interested.
It would only be like really deep GPP plays. I don't understand the ownership. I get that Texas has like strikeouts in their lineup, but I was looking at just general team stuff over the last like month or so. Against righties, Texas 125 WRC plus 205 ISO. These are all top 5 numbers. 356 on base percentage. They're still striking out, but in that park, I kind of don't like picking on them. I've been burned by that quite a bit. Just seems like they have one big inning, and for 9,700, for a guy that doesn't pitch as well on the road, it's tough for me to go there, especially when he's going to be somewhat owned. So Greinke's not my guy tonight. I understand it. He could get strikeouts here, but I don't know that you need to take this kind of risk in this park, even though it's only 85 degrees or whatever. It's still a really tough place to pitch in.
And still a lot of really scary lefties.
Yep. Gallo, Chu, Odor, like these guys are swinging for the fences.
Yeah, so I'm not going to be getting to all that much Greinke. Bats, though. Peralta, Goldschmidt, Pollock, Escobar, Souza, Descalso on FanDuel is an incredible bargain. They're chalky. I think you need to have pieces of them just because of this game situation. Highest implied total on the slate. I can't imagine getting away from them. Cologne, super hittable. But, I mean, just know you're getting the chalk, so you're going to need to differentiate a little bit elsewhere.
Yeah, it's chalky for good reason. They're a really good stack. They're arguably the top stack of the night. And they should be, I think, like the highest owned stack against Bartolo. In this park, Pollock and Goldschmidt are my favorites, but Peralta, Souza, I don't like Jeff Mathis down there, Nick Ahmed, righty, but so that's probably guys I'll leave off if I'm stacking the Diamondbacks. But yeah, awesome stack. Not playing Bartolo, obviously.
Yeah, dude, Peralta at 5,700, man, that is a price tag on DraftKings. Oh boy.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes Goldschmidt and Pollock look so much better.
They're under 5K. That's good job by DraftKings.
Goldschmidt in particular, hitting second, 4,700 against Bartolo Colon in Texas. If you don't like that, I don't know what you're doing. But apparently people do. 27% expected ownership. So
yep,
fully makes sense. I don't know if I want to get to 26% Steven Souza like the ownership's projecting, but
yeah, I saw that.
I'll do that for Pollock.
Kind of crazy. Sure.
Anyway, yeah, stack up the Diamondbacks. I think they look great. You'll just want to try to be a little bit different, filling out the rest of your stack, or be a little bit more unique at pitcher.
Agreed.
Nats and the Cardinals. Nats 4-run implied total. Cardinals 4.5. It's a 56% chance to win for the Cardinals. Tommy Milone going for Washington. Miles Michaelis going for St. Louis. Holy shit, I got it right.
You did.
Anyway, this isn't a game for pitching for me. I have 1% Michaelis. We're not expecting ownership. I have 2% Malone. We're not expecting ownership. This is a game that I kind of want to stay quiet except for one specific spot. That would be Cardinals bats on DK. Are you going to any pitching? Are you running Tommy Milone back out there to try and redeem yourself?
If he was cheaper, I'd probably give him another shot. But 6,800, yeah, I against a bunch of righties. Yeah, I don't know. I think I've learned my lesson somewhat there. it was encouraging to see him, like, even when he was getting rocked, the Nats were letting him go, and he got to 6 innings. Like, they should have pulled him after 4, but he gave up 10 hits. Like, he was just getting crushed. But anyways, I don't think you really need to go there against this Cardinals lineup. I like the middle of their order, really 2 through 6, especially Yachty. He just crushes lefties. DeJong, just big power. If Malone's serving it up like he was last start, he looked awful. If he does that again, the Cardinals are going to destroy him. So I like Cardinals bats here.
Yeah, same. I don't have as much on FanDuel, but pricing-wise, they're really good on DK. Ozuna at 3,900, my chalkiest guy in their lineup, way over the field. I have a ton of Molina if he's hitting second. I love filling out a lineup with him. Jose Martinez, I don't have a ton of, but I don't have any issues with it either. I get DeJong, I get Jerko, I get Matt Carpenter leading off, although very, very expensive, but at least he has dual eligibility. I'm double the field on the Cardinals bats on DK right now. They're my 6th most owned stack, but public just not really on them all that much. So I'm happy to be over the field here.
Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't be one of the higher owned stacks of the night. Seems like a good spot. Malone just got blown up. He still got swinging strikes and chases. God, 51% chase rate against Atlanta. I don't know what's going on with Malone. Why people are chasing his stuff? It looks terrible, but it's hard to argue with these numbers. I don't know. I still like the Cardinals, I think, but just looking at that makes me a little bit nervous to just load up on them.
Okay. And
what about
Brendan Bowling? Yeah, I did skip the Marlins Braves game. That was unintentional. We'll grab that next. Go ahead, Jake.
Lefties against Michaelis? You got anything?
I barely have any, very minimal. I only have 2% aggregate on both sites for the Nats. So I'll have a couple lines of Eaton, Harper, Soto, Turner, Rendon. But it's very minimal. I don't have anybody more than 6%.
I like the Nats at low ownership. Coming off that crushing loss last night, I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't even know they played.
They played in the Sunday night game, up 3-0. They got beat by a walk-off grand slam by my Cubs. So, up 3-0.
Who hit it?
David Bodie. Pinch hit. After Scherzer throws a gem, they blow it.
4-run implied total is really interesting.
I know.
For the Nats.
I guess Michaelis he's pretty good. Not for DFS, I don't think, but I'm certainly not playing Michaelis. But so I just like the Nats whenever they're going to be low owned, and they should be here. So I'm in on them, hoping they bounce back. Michaelis does give up a lot of hard hits to lefties, 25% line drive rate, 37% hard contact overall. So that's kind of where you can attack him, and the Nats have a lot of lucky power. So I'm in.
Yeah, Michaelis has been really good this year. A 402 Sierra, 373 xFIP. He's been worth 3.2 wins above replacement on FanGraphs. He's just a really, really solid pitcher from a baseball sense. Just doesn't necessarily translate as much to a fantasy perspective. So I guess I get why the total is as low as it is for the Nats. That kind of scares me. You could definitely get some leverage on the field here if you're a believer in the Nats bats, though.
Yeah, so I am. So I'll take him at low ownership.
Yeah, I like them they're certainly worth a flyer. If they put up 15 runs today, you'd be like, oh yeah, it's the Nats.
Yeah.
Harper homered, Soto homered twice. That stuff can happen pretty easily.
Yep, for sure.
Well, maybe not easily, but you know what I mean. All right, circling back, Marlins and Braves. Marlins 3.5 run implied total, Braves 5. The 65% chance to win for the Braves. Merandy Gonzalez going for Miami. Mike Foltynewicz going for Atlanta. Not going to be getting to a ton of Merandy Gonzalez here tonight. This one screams a little bit more Braves bats, in my opinion. I don't have a ton of Folty on DK. I'm half the field. We're projecting 11%. I've got 6. But I am with him on FanDuel. He's priced down significantly. So I have 17% Folty on FanDuel. Like having him here. Marlins' run total, minuscule. Not a lot of bats to worry about here. Lots of righties, and the lefties that are in the lineup aren't particularly scary. So I'm going to have an overwhelming amount of Fulte, at least on FanDuel. And I want to mash the Braves. Number 6 stack on FanDuel, number 3 on DK. I'm more than double the field on both sites. Give me all of the Braves. Typical for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on the Braves for sure. I'm with you on both Braves and Fulte, and maybe even higher on Fulte than you are. So just like Morandi doesn't look that great to me. I think he's really, really going to have trouble coming up from Double-A and getting any sorts of swing and misses. He wasn't really doing it that well in Double-A. So I think the Braves are one of my favorite stacks of the entire night. They don't strike out anyways. I think they're going to make hard contact against Morandi, and that Marlins bullpen is pretty brutal too. So I love the Braves stacking up your squad once again. And then Fulte, everyone's going to go to Kershaw in this range, and our ownership reflects it. So he just becomes a really fun GPP play. Going to see probably 6 righties, and then he's striking out righties almost 30% this year. And then the Marlins have been one of those teams over the last month that has just faded, like 107 ISO, 22% K rate, 266 on base percentage against righties. I mean, they're just really bad. And Fulte, I watched that Tommy Malone Fulte matchup last week. He looked really awesome after the first inning or so. And obviously Malone did not. And the numbers kind of back that up. He's a guy who can get 10 plus strikeouts in a game. I think he could do it here. And he's got bigger strikeout upside than Kershaw in their matchups, I think.
Ooh, I don't agree with you there.
Kershaw hasn't been that good.
We'll see. We'll talk about Kershaw shortly. Look, I like Fulte. I obviously have a bunch of them on FanDuel. I just don't like the 10-5 price tag.
Oh, I love it. I love it because you can, like, pricing doesn't matter that much tonight. You can get, they price down Arizona bats besides Peralta.
That's a good point.
They've got 2 $4,400 pitchers that you can use. Severino's under 12K. It's not going to be that tough to get a lineup.
So what you're telling me is you don't want to have 50% Kershaw like the field does. Is that what I'm hearing?
No. Yeah, that's music to my eyes because I want to play all the Fulte. Maybe I'll have 50% Fulte.
Ooh, boy. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not a Fulte guy.
He looks good.
Okay, let me be more specific. I'm not a Fulte guy at 10-5. I think he's more like Mike Clevenger than he is in between Severino Kershaw.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think Kershaw's been that impressive. He shouldn't be 50% chalk. How he looks right now, at least.
Oh, give me all of the Kershaw. Well, I'm less enthusiastic about it now that he's like the chalkiest pitcher we've ever had. I had Freeman yesterday as my dong pick. He did not dong. Acuna and Albies both did, however, so at least I was on the right team. Right ballpark, wrong seat. Love Acuna, love Albies, love Freeman. I like Camargo and Enciarte on FanDuel. I like Tyler Flowers a ton on DK. Just hard not to want to have some Braves here. But be prepared. The projected lineup for the second game could look very, very different than what we have in here now. Doubleheaders can mix things up pretty dramatically.
Yeah, you never know. So,
I wouldn't expect Nick Markakis to play both games. So we'll see.
Yeah, some regulars could be sitting one of the 2 games.
Agreed. Moving on. The Blue Jays at Kansas City. 4.8 run implied total for the Jays. 4.4 for the Royals. The 54% chance to win for Toronto. Sean Reed Foley going for the Jays. Brad Keller going for Kansas City. Sean Reed Foley projected to get a little bit of ownership, 13% on DraftKings. And I say, not nearly enough. 39% Sean Reed Foley. Give me everything of Mr. 3 names. And then for the Jays, number 5 stack on FanDuel, number 4 on DK. I have triple the field on FanDuel, 4 times the field on DraftKings. All things Blue Jays for me today. What are your thoughts on Sean Reed-Foley?
Yeah, I'm playing him a lot. I wrote him up in Spotlight Pitchers, getting a ton of swinging strikes at AAA. So he's getting strikeouts, not like anything crazy, but at least 5 in 7 out of his last 8 starts. And actually way more going back to that. Like he's had 1 under 5 strikeout game. He had 2 strikeouts 3 starts ago. And then the last time he did before that, under 5 was June 3rd, starting every 5th or 6th day. So he's able to get strikeouts at AAA, that's for sure. Swinging strikes is another thing I look at. And like I mentioned, those look awesome. And then the Royals just lack any sort of power. I know the wind's blowing out. That's a little bit concerning, but I'm playing Reed-Foley. Like he's just too cheap.
Yep.
Just allows you to get so much DeGrom or Severino or whoever you want, like Kershaw if you want to go there. I probably wouldn't play Kershaw and Reed-Foley. I think that's going to be chalky. I think Reed-Foley is going to be one of the higher owned pitchers on the slate once we get to lock time.
Yeah, lots of swing and miss in the Royals lineup now. Brett Phillips is bad. O'Hearn, Mondesi. So I'm liking Reed-Foley to be able to return some sort of value at 4,400. To the lovely comment in the chat from Bob McIntyre, Kershaw sucks against left-handed batters. Look it up. Clayton Kershaw, xFIP versus left-handers this year, 3.14. xFIP versus right-handers this year, 3.14.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's bad. Yeah, Kershaw's not bad. Like, he's not bad against anything. Kershaw is
he's certainly
very,
not terrible
very good
against left-handed batters.
No.
I had to address it because it was so preposterous.
We got to pump the brakes on that.
Yeah.
What is Tom saying?
He's had some poor home run luck.
What do you decide?
But good God.
Yeah.
What are we?
TP. Question for FanDuel GPP: how do you decide on whether or not to use Fulte versus a 4-man Atlanta stack? You can use both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Tom answered your question.
Yeah, you can use both if you want. Yeah, it's one of those things you don't have to decide.
Yeah, FanDuel made that switch, I think, this year.
I mean, there are worse things than having a 3-man Brave stack along with him too. You know, it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah.
So, am I crazy for having so much Blue Jays? 3 times the field and 4 times the field, respectively, FanDuel and DK?
No, Kansas City bullpen. It's so bad. It's not like Keller's anything special either. So, yeah, you're right on here. Okay. It's a good pivot to some of the cheaper Arizona guys, and if they're going to be lower owned, even better. Wind blowing out here, as I mentioned, and no one over 10%. That's super appealing. So, who are your favorites? I think is the real question.
So I'll answer that 2 separate ways. Like, we have Granderson projected for 1% ownership on DK. I assume that's either a batting order thing or something will change. There's no way that he's going to be lefty-righty 1% if he's leading off. At least that would blow my mind. So based on our ownership, Granderson is clearly my favorite. I have 25% Granderson and we're projecting 1%. So relatively speaking, that's my guy. But if we're talking about just like how guys grade out, I think Travis hitting second for a second baseman at a relatively cheap salary is a nice look. And then I think Smoke on FanDuel at 3,700 is a really nice value. But Grichuk overall, outfielder, 3,300 FanDuel, 4,300 DK. He would probably be my best combination of like upside and price.
Yeah, I've got Smoke number 1, then Grichuk, then Morales. Aledmus Diaz is coming up pretty high for me, so I like if he's batting 7th. I don't think people will play him, and I'm just going full on Blue Jays stack because if they get past Keller, they'll get more bad bullpen arms, and it'll hopefully be the play. So I'm with you on the Blue Jays. I think they should be one of the higher owned stacks as well, and it doesn't look like they're going to be.
Now, if they pop off, that's one of those look for me at the top type things with the amount of volume that I'm going to have.
For sure.
And I'm fine having the top part of the Royals lineup just in case. Merrifield, Gordon, Perez, and Duda. A little bit of Herrera just because of his price point, but it falls off pretty dramatically after that. But those first 4 guys are all legit or like baseball or Major League Baseball hitters. They would all be on rosters regardless. The rest of the team leaves a little bit something to be desired. But if Sean Reed-Foley's getting a bunch of ownership, and he is, I'll at least have a hedge of those first 4. And they're relatively chalky on DK. 9% aggregate ownership for the Royals. They are the 4th most owned stack.
On DK?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie.
Whoa.
Didn't see that one coming.
Neither did I. I just looked at that now. Because of those top 4?
Yeah. Everything is in those first 4. Then there's 4% to Herrera and nobody else. So it's 16% Merrifield, 14 Gordon, 24% Perez, 11% Duda.
You don't need to go that cheap. I don't know why they would be that chalky. Huh. So I like Foley even better if people are going to play Kansas City bats.
Well, here's why it's happening, I think. You get 2 lefties, Gordon and Duda, at relatively reasonable price points. You get a catcher who's actually good, hitting third. And then you get Merrifield leading off with dual eligibility. So they just have this perfect combination of relatively low price, arguable talent, and like the ability to fit in really easily. Just having the catcher as a part of stacks is what is going to push ownership up.
Okay. I suppose. But
yeah, otherwise, like if we saw any bits of Phillips or O'Hearn or Escobar or something, then I'd be a little bit more confused. But with it being just those 4 guys, I think there's a reasonable case to be made. They're probably overowned, but then again, I have more than that, so what the fuck do I know? Anything else in this game?
No, I'm on the Blue Jays side.
Yeah, I hope that ownership stays down.
Yep.
T. McBee, just to circle back to it, because now I'm curious. The one twist is Keller does have a decent slider. Jays are vulnerable against the slider. No? I don't know, but let's check. Let's see. Pitch type. Nope. Pitch value.
I go pitch values by 100. So you check.
Yeah, that's where I'm going now. I just accidentally clicked on pitch type first. Do you have it in front of you already?
I don't.
They are 28th against the slider this year. But there's a lot of teams packed in right there. The Rangers are just ultra bad against it. Does Keller actually have a good slider?
That's the question, right? So
he does indeed. Very, very good. Okay, that's interesting. That doesn't change me liking... Hold on. Fix this. So that doesn't change me, like, my perception of all of this, but I could see Keller getting a couple extra strikeouts because of it.
Let's see.
It's like, you're not throwing, 45 sliders in a game. It's more of an out pitch. So I could see him ending some at-bats, but it just might make Keller more appealing. I don't think it really changes the outlook for the Jays.
I mean, Keller's slider, just in terms of whiffs per swing, ranks 195th out of 298.
Oh, so, really?
I mean, it's not like he's getting a ton of whiffs. It may be, let's see, what kind of contact it's creating.
It almost has to be.
It's creating a lot of ground balls.
Okay.
That's okay. So just not getting a ton of whiffs on it, but looks like less than stellar contact he's getting.
Yeah, and obviously, this is an 88-inning sample this year. So the amount of sliders that he's thrown is probably relatively low to begin with. But Look, it is an extra little detail for it.
Sure, it's something worth checking up on for sure.
Mariners and A's. You're going to like this way more than I do. 3.8 run implied total for the Mariners, 4.2 for the A's. It's a 54% chance to win for those A's. Jake's boy Marco Gonzalez going for Seattle. Sean Manaea going for Oakland. These are not two pitchers that I will be owning. These are two pitchers that I assume Jake will be owning. Jake, how much do you love your boy Marco Gonzalez today?
I mean, he's fine, right? So I'm not. He's one of the guys I learned my lesson with playing pitchers in Texas. He had a 0% swinging strike rate. I think that was right.
Love
like, I know it was a short outing, but still, whatever. His velocity was fine. I'm not too worried about it, but Oakland's been crushing lefties. So I'm a little worried about Marco. I will have some of him for sure. Just because what we looked at before the All-Star break, he just was mowing people down, getting a lot of chases, getting a lot of swinging strikes. And that's what I like to see. I thought he was at the top of his game. I don't know if he is really anymore. And I'm super worried about Kana and Chapman and Jed Lowry, Pinder if he's in there. So definitely some landmines here for Marco. But I will have some of them. It's just too good of a park, I think, to just completely avoid. Manaea on the other side, like you look at his strikeout numbers, 17% against righties, 17% against lefties. But he's the guy who always comes up for me because he's just good at getting DK points. Like his average DK points is pretty solid. It's in the teens and gets 10% swinging strikes, 34% chase rate. That's very, very good. I'm worried about Nelson Cruz and Mitch Haniger, but outside of those two, I'm not that scared of the Mariners lineup in this park. So both these guys will be on some of my teams. I don't know who I'm going to be or who I'm going to have more of, but they'll be in that like 15 to 20% range probably.
Yeah, you and I are going to be very different here. Although I don't disagree with you. This is a great park. Total's low. I'm not getting to anybody in that price range. I'm either going to be a little bit higher and going to Heaney, spoiler alert, or significantly lower. I'm not seeing a ton of love there. Although I do obviously have a little bit of a blind spot for Marco Gonzalez. He's been much better this year. 371 Sierra, 351 xFIP. It's a different pitcher now. We went on that exercise a while back.
Yeah.
But for me, I have so much exposure elsewhere that these guys sort of just get pinched out. They make sense on paper, though, for sure.
That's fair. I forgot about Heaney, so maybe I won't have as much as I anticipated, but Padres have actually kind of been good against lefties. It's kind of weird.
Are you looking at any bats here? This is basically just like 2 or 3 random stacks for me.
Yeah, that'll kind of be the same deal as me. Nelson Cruz will pop up a lot for me. Yeah. Mitch Haniger will pop up, and then probably Chapman on the other side. So not going crazy with stacks on either side.
No, I'm with you. It's not a great spot for it. So I hope this stays quiet from a bats perspective. 2 games left. Angels and Padres. Angels 4.1 run implied total. Padres 3.8. It's a 54% chance to win for the Angels. Andrew Heaney going for said Angels. Clayton Richard going for San Diego. Heaney, a guy that I'm heavy on today, as is the field. 27% expected ownership. I've got 27 as well. And then Richard, 26% expected ownership. I've got half of that, 13. That'll probably go up as I neuter my Artie Lewicki exposure. But this is a great game for pitching because that's Petco for you. And, if Richard's going to be 4,400, he's pretty easy filler when he's at home. So I love the pitching here. I understand why the field is there. I don't really have much interest in any bats. And I agree with T. McBee. You guys need to like this stream.
Yeah, that was nice to throw in there. So Heaney going to get 7 righties. He's very good against righties. Like he strikes them out. 124 whip, XFIP 430 about. It's not terrible at all. But 44% hard contact against righties this year. I'm like Renfroe and Reyes especially, and Margot. They're not easy outs. They may strike out more than average, but they definitely have power and power to get it out in this park. So I'm not, and Hedges too. I'm not just locking in Heaney. I think a lot of people will do that. 27% is healthy. I think he's a fine play. Certainly has upside if he's got his best stuff. But I'm going to be lower than the field on 27% for sure. Clayton Richard. So last night when I was looking at this, I thought Reed Foley would be the chalk 4,400 pitcher. And if Richard is going to be twice the ownership of Reed Foley, that I might just go all in on Reed Foley in this range because I think he's just a better play. There's no Mike Trout in that Angels lineup, but still not that many strikeouts either. So, what's Richard's actual upside here? 20 points? That'd be perfect.
I'd go crazy.
Yeah, I know. You'd love 20 points, but you look at how deep they're letting him go too. 60, 70, 72, 84 pitches in his last 4. I don't know. He hasn't been good, that's for sure. So I don't know if I want to play a guy who I think has not been good, going to get a lot of righties and chalk. I don't know. It's a pretty easy fade, or at least underweight on Richard for me.
Lorenzo Robinson, I'm taking Padres stack, number 2 stack. What drugs do you do so early in the morning?
I don't hate it.
Number 2 stack?
Dude, they have power. They definitely have power against lefties. Against righty, if Heaney was a righty, I would understand this even more. I understand why Heaney is chalky, but
I have no Padres on either side. 3.8 run implied total in Petco. Unless you're playing the showdown slate, then the Padres are probably the number 2 stack. Otherwise, not sure I can get there.
Yeah. So over the last month, 193 ISO, 123 WRC plus, 355 on base percentage, under 21% K rate for the Padres. They've been hitting lefties well lately. There's no doubt about it. On the season, they're around average. Depending on what stat you look at, WRC plus, they're a little below average. ISO, they're around average. Same with on base percentage. So they're not like a pushover team. They certainly have some guys that can hit the ball hard against lefties.
If you want to put 4 lineups of the Padres in the mini-max and be well over the field, have
exactly. Oh, yeah, I'll definitely be doing that. For sure.
Holy shit. That is fascinating.
I think it's worth it as the hedge stack if we're expecting heavy ownership on Heaney.
I don't mind a hedge stack. Yeah, let's pump the brakes on number 2 stack of the day here.
They're not my number 2. They're not even in the top 5, I don't think, for me, but they're solid. I think
they are 17th for me out of 20.
Oh my! So would you rather have them or the Mets?
Mets are dead last.
Okay. What about the Reds against Clevenger?
I'd rather have the Reds.
Okay. I think I'd rather have the Padres there.
I'd rather have the team playing in Cincinnati, not in
True.
Petco.
True. What about Tigers?
Oh, Tigers? They're my number 3 stack.
No, I'm kidding. You love the Tigers. That would be close for me. That's not just a slam dunk.
You'd be close on Tigers and Padres?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They've just got power, They just got a lot of power.
I guess I don't know.
Franmil Reyes, Hedges, Villanueva, Perella can hit at least. Renfroe obviously has huge power. Yeah, so there's a path to
Lorenzo,
success.
are you sure that I argued about not having Chen? Because I usually have a lot of Chen.
No. We both were on Chen that day.
Yeah.
Was that Friday? Or no. Was that yesterday? I can't remember.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, like I generally have like a decent amount of Chen,
Chen is just a stud at home for whatever reason.
and always cheap.
Yeah. He's going to be like 8K in chalk next time out, I'm sure.
You guys could have your Padres tonight.
All right, let's.
If I wake up to a late night hammer of the Padres going crazy, congratulations, everybody.
You might not have to show up to the stream. It'll just be a celebration for us Padres lovers.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I'll be broke. Giants and Dodgers final game. Giants 2.9 run implied total. Yikes. Dodgers 4.1. 65% chance to win for the Dodgers. Madison Bumgarner going for San Francisco. The GOAT Clayton Kershaw going for LA. Here I was thinking 40% Kershaw was going to be a lot. The public says, no, we see your 40 and raise you to 50. 50% ownership to Clayton Kershaw on DraftKings right now. Holy crap. Clayton Kershaw, 25% on FanDuel. I've got 33. Look, I love Kershaw. The fact that he is 10K is insane. Got the highest chance in my model of being a top 2 scoring pitcher on DK. Quite a bit above Severino. He even has a 6% chance of being a top 2 value play, which is not something you see all that often in these high-priced guys. I totally understand why Kershaw is 50% owned. I won't get to 50. I said on the night shift that Kershaw was going to slam against my ownership cap. My ownership cap for pitchers on DK today, 41%. So, like I said, he's exactly where I expected him to be. I want all of the Clayton Kershaw tonight. The gambling public does not disagree. Sub 3 run implied total for the Giants. Give it to me. Give me all of the Kershaw. I'm going to eat all of the chalk. It's going to be a big-time Clayton Kershaw, Sean Reed, Foley day, which, I saw coming from a mile away.
Oh, God. Yeah. So this is the start where he's going to be good at chalk. I won't be there. God. He hasn't been good. He hasn't been good. He just hasn't. Like, he's been fine, but he's not vintage Kershaw. If this was vintage Kershaw for 10K against the Giants, okay, that's fine. But the Giants also have guys that can hit lefties really, really well. McCutchen, Posey, Longoria to start out. Even Hundley I have as being a really good hitter against lefties. At least hitting the ball hard over the last couple of years. Darno, I don't know. It's not a super easy matchup for Kershaw. And the swinging strikes were trending upwards until his last start. Just one strikeout of 4.1% swinging strike rate. Just a 15% chase rate against Oakland, who's been tougher. But I just don't think Kershaw has huge upside right now. And I think guys like Severino and Fulte and DeGrom do. So I don't think he should be 50%. And I'm not going crazy with the Giants bats. I may have some one-offs here and there. But yeah, I'm not with the Kershaw chalk here.
Oh, God. I'm going to pay for this one, I think. I like it, man. I can't get away from him at 10K. He's so cheap. He's just so ridiculously cheap.
Swing and miss stuff this year with Kershaw. I mean, it's good but not up to his standards. 11% swinging strike rate, just above average chase rate, 35% hard contact. I mean, it's not vintage Kershaw, and that's kind of what the ownership suggests, just because it's a low total on the other side.
I'm pulling up a chart right now. Take a peek at it.
Yeah. I think the real talking point is Dodgers bats.
I actually don't have all that much this time, so I'm shit. Well, it'll be on the screen eventually. I've got his rolling 5-game average of hard contact rate and swinging strike rate this season. So he definitely bottomed out in the middle of the season.
Yeah.
The swinging strike rate has been rebounding just a little bit, but it isn't great. Hard contact has been rising pretty aggressively over these past 5 to 10 games. Am I nervous? Hell yeah. Super nervous. But I don't know what else I could do. 10K.
Yeah. I just hate, yeah, I know. I just hate playing guys for like their price. Like, and I hate you're paying an ownership tax. Like it's not like he's 10K and he's going to be 15%. He's going to be 50%. And there are good pivots. Fulte is such an awesome pivot. I'm really pumped to play Fulte. I'll have more Fulte than Kershaw. I'll have more Severino than Kershaw. I might not have any Kershaw at all, honestly.
I could see me
Kershaw
bumping up my Severino and pulling down a little bit from Kershaw. I think that's where I would want to go because I think that Severino is my clear top option of those other three, of the DeGrom, Severino, Fulte group.
Great key, yeah.
So I could see wanting to be a bit more aggressive because I don't see the gap between Severino and Kershaw being as big as it is for everybody else. It's really just that 10K price tag. That's the lowest he's been in so long.
I know, but you're just, yeah. Okay, so we got Marco saying Kershaw's a great GPP play. I mean, I don't agree with that. And then Tom saying terrible GPP play. LMAO, yeah.
Yeah,
it's not either one. You're not being sneaky playing Kershaw,
no.
You know? And
exact opposite.
Yeah.
He's a cash play now.
Right, exactly. Like fine cash play, super low implied total against. I think the more likely outcome is he probably pitches fine and goes like 6 innings, gets a few strikeouts, like has a good chance at a win. He's got everything you want for cash, and he's cheap enough. But I just think his name is like ramping up his ownership. And if there was no Fulte and no Severino on this slate, I would get it. Like 50% Kershaw, but
shit, I'd have 70.
They're good pivots. And I just think like I would take Fulte straight up over him. So
yeah, that I'm not with you. I have a really big gap between those two today.
All right.
Kershaw at 20.4 fantasy points for the day is my projection, which is the highest by a lot. I've got Fulte at 16. So I've got him 4.4 points ahead of him.
Yeah. If Kershaw chalk buries me, I'm fine with that. So I'm being serious. I may not have a single Kershaw lineup. Like I won't have him on my initial crunch. Like I'll crunch right now and it'll be done in a couple minutes, but I probably won't have a single Kershaw lineup. Let's see.
Jesse XDXD, the irony in your statement is that you're 100% wrong, as weird as that sounds. If you just took his stats and removed the name, he wouldn't be 10K or 50% owned. You know what's really funny? He would, because I basically just look at the stats and remove the name, and he's 40% owned.
Well, yeah, so it depends which stats you're looking at.
Well, then, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking at just this year, yeah. But, I mean, if you're looking at last year, 2016, going back even further, yeah, this is a slam dunk. Like, if this was the first game of the season and Kershaw was 10K, he'd be like 65% owned. But since, like, what we've seen the last few months with him, it's making me really nervous about him ever, like, regaining his form. Like, vintage Kershaw.
I don't want to be near 50% because I don't think that's a worthwhile play with the arms that are out there. But I understand why he's 50%. And it's not about Clayton Kershaw's name.
Okay.
Like, I could remove every person's name in this entire sheet, and it wouldn't change anything that I'm doing. Like, the last thing that I care... I don't make any changes for any particular individual. Like, this... My sheet doesn't know that Clayton Kershaw is Clayton Kershaw. He's just numbers on a page.
The hell is this? All right.
I agree with Mavin Goose that the fade on DK is the tourney move.
Oh, sorry, I'm reading the email. I'm getting it. Oh, okay. Never mind. We're good. How can you win a GTP if he's owned at 50% complete fade? You don't necessarily need to complete fade him if you're not comfortable with that. I think I'm somewhat comfortable with that right now. He may not be 50%. He may be 35% in like the mini max or something, and still too high, I think. But yeah, it's going to be tougher. You're going to be holding hands with a lot of people if you play Kershaw. So,
look, like I said, I haven't projected for 20 points. If Kershaw hits 20, like you can still win any GPP, whether he's chalk or not. Like there's just there's levels to this game about it. Like you don't. Pitcher's weird.
It's all relative.
Yeah, you just have to be right. You don't necessarily have to worry too much about it. Because if you're not getting 7 of your 8 bats correct, it's not going to matter anyway.
You guys don't have any love for DeGrom low ownership? I think I like DeGrom. The weather is getting dicey. People are coming in chat saying.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're 10 hours out.
What about we didn't talk about Dodgers bats or Bumgarner, which team
I don't have any Giants bats. That should come as no surprise. And I basically don't have the Dodgers. I don't really have them on DK, and I only have a little bit of them on FanDuel. Like I like Bumgarner. He's good. I don't want to have him in fantasy, but I mean, this is a really tough spot. I'm happy to not be on them for once. This will probably be the game that he goes absolutely they go absolutely bonkers, but yeah, for once I'm not actually on them.
Yeah, I'm not on Bumgarner. He's another one like in the Kershaw territory where I think his name value is doing a lot more than it should for his ownership and stuff. Done a better job limiting hard contact in his last few starts, but still 38% on the season, a 460 xFIP against righties, not striking righties out at just over 18%. Like, he doesn't grade out as a great pitcher for me right now, even though he's had some decent results lately.
Too expensive.
Yeah, too expensive and really tough matchup. The Dodgers actually suck against lefties over the last month. They have a 67 WRC plus, but we're still not into the, like, this was still taking into account before they got Dozier and Machado and Turner back. So I think they should turn that around. I don't think we'll see Jock in the lineup leading off.
He didn't play yesterday,
but it's lefty. They don't even let him hit against lefties usually.
Yeah.
So I still love Machado, Turner, Grandal, Dozier, and Puig. So I'm on the Dodgers low ownership stack once again, just kind of like the Nationals when they're going to be low owned. They've got a low total. I'm just always going to look for reasons to play them.
Yeah, I'd be more likely to want to jam them in if Bumgarner was getting any sort of love. But I'll have maybe 1 or 2 throwaway Dodger lines, and that's it. Today doesn't feel like the volume spot. This feels more like one of those 2-to-1 type, like West Coast games. I don't know why I said West Coast. It's unappealing for me, which bums me out. I was ready to ride that Dodgers train until they finally popped off.
How about Dodgers Padres late night hammer? You get Severino in there. You can go Severino Fulte probably with those guys. You do a 4-4. It'll be glorious. I can't wait.
That'd be a decent like Millie Maker lineup if you wanted to get on 2 teams that nobody wants.
Do you think they could have a Millie Maker for baseball? This may be a stupid question, but like, and not live final format, like just like a straight up Millie Maker. Do you think they could get enough interest?
It would have to be around some of their high volume times, so maybe like around the 4th of July or something. Maybe. I don't think they can do it now.
Or like the beginning of the season when everyone's super pumped to play.
Maybe like Labor Day Monday or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what their big volume days are. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I was seriously asking. I had no idea, like, if they could swing that at all. But just interesting to think about. Like, they do it for golf. And I know that's a once a week thing, but just interesting to think about if they could actually do that.
I could see it.
Yeah,
I'd be excited about it, man. There'd be some real weird shit winning that. It'd be like, oh, Steven Duggar double dongs, pushing me to the million, you know.
Or Kershaw 50% chalk going nuts.
Yeah. Or Kershaw 50% chalk getting bombed, pushing the winning scores down so far.
The Giants hedge stack wins it all.
No, that crap Padres stack could be the one that wins it all.
Oh yeah, I'd love me some Padres.
About that time. Give me 2. And I'll share for you.
Yeah. Okay. I saw there was a request for, I believe it was Marco. What was it? Marco something. Marco Heaney or something like that.
Is there anybody with Marco's salary?
Oh, Granky Marco.
I don't have any of that.
Okay.
I have 3% Grinky and 0% Marco, so.
Do like Fulte Marco or something. Do you have that? Or Kershaw Marco. Try that.
Yeah, Kershaw. Well, I won't have Marco, but we can look at Kershaw and some of the mid-tier guys.
You were just clicking on FanDuel though, were you?
No, I'm on DK.
Oh, okay.
Kershaw with the wiki's too cheap. It almost has to be Heaney.
That's fine.
There's my Tigers. All right, so Braves with Jose Ramirez, Lindor, and classic slugger Nicky Delmonico.
Nicky.
Yeah, Heaney Gonzalez would. Man, that's a unique line, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I don't like not having one of the guys at 10 or higher, though. Like, it doesn't strike me as the type of day where you need to double pay down at pitcher. There's not that many expensive bats out there.
I mean, yeah, that's the way to get different, right? Is going expensive bats, cheaper pitching. I mean, I got so much Reed Foley on my initial crunch before I usually go in and make a bunch of manual changes, but and like exclude guys. But yeah, I got a ton of Reed Foley.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up just so everybody can see why Reed Foley is going to be super popular.
Yeah,
this is just Reed Foley plus everybody else, but you're going to see a sea of Kershaw, Severino, DeGrom, all the expensive guys. Big time Blue Jays stacks, Braves stacks. There's a full Indian stack with Pollock and Goldschmidt. Full Indian stack with Granderson and Travis. The Diamondbacks with Albies and Swanson and a one-off Salvador Perez. Like Sean Reed Foley just lets you pay for more expensive bats. The Indians in particular are the team that looks like super good to me.
Yeah, so I got a lot of my model likes Heaney, Manaea, and these are like putting in the expensive bats first. So getting a lot of like Indians, Diamondbacks. Yeah.
Okay, I love this lineup here. Heaney and Foley, 5-man D-backs, Molina and Ozuna, and a one-off Jose Ramirez.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, I like that quite a bit. What's my most popular combination today? 5-man Indians with some Tigers.
Jeez, the Indians are popping up so high for me.
I've got a bunch of Indians 5-man stacks with the Tigers here that I'm quite fond of. Do we have anything else we want to look at here?
Let's see. Mike Clevenger's the GPP play. That D-backs lineup is sick. Yeah, that is pretty sick.
Let's look at FanDuel to make sure that everything looks as preposterous as it normally does.
Just plug in your 2 favorite stacks and Severino, Kershaw, Fulte, whoever you want.
Tigers plus expensive pitcher plus Indians.
Pretty much.
All right, so who's the most expensive pitcher on FanDuel? All right, DeGrom at 11.2 I don't have a ton of, so I need to go to Kershaw at 10.8. $400 behind him. I have a ton of Kershaw. But here's why FanDuel is, once again, redonkulous. Diamondbacks and Tigers, Indians and Tigers, White Sox and Diamondbacks. You just get the nuts because you're inevitably going to find one team that is crazy, crazy, crazy underpriced.
Yep.
The Tigers are like my number 2 stack in everything. Tigers and Braves, Tigers and Diamondbacks, Tigers and Indians. You can't get away from them.
No, it's the Indians. You can do like Indians, Tigers. You can do whatever you want on FanDuel. You can do a lot of what you want on DK today. Pricing is really, really soft.
It is. Alrighty, everybody. That's where we're at right now. Check out Spotlight Hitters, Pitchers, Stacks. Like this video if you enjoyed hanging out with us today. And if you didn't really enjoy it, like it anyway. You were here. Just like the tax.
Yeah.
Quick hits will be out. Daily game plan will be out. Live stream tonight, myself and Chris Spags. Talking this 10-game slate. Where I will have way too much Clayton Kershaw and absolutely no Padres. Anything else you want to add, Jake?
No, tune into the live stream. Night shift will be out after that, and Spotlight Hitters, Pitchers, Stacks. I'm spending the rest of my day mostly getting the NHL stuff. Pretty pumped about that. I was up late last night doing some NHL prep.
There you go.
Trying to build projections, and that's been a disaster at sometimes, but hopefully the finished product looks good in a couple months. So, or 6 weeks. Maybe.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm checking to see when the NHL start date is.
October 3rd, right? Not that I would know.
October 3rd.
You know, yeah. No, I've had that date in my head for a while. NBA season a couple weeks later, right?
We're gonna find that out as well. October 16th.
Probably the 17th, 16th. Yeah.
You, dude.
Yeah, dude. It's gonna be fun. I'm like almost skipping over football. Like I'm forgetting about football all the time. That's in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3.5.
I need to hustle on that too.
It's going to be awesome.
All right, everybody. That is it. Best of luck tonight. Tune into everything else we do. Like, subscribe. You guys know the drill. And I'll see you tonight. Bye.